Hello and welcome to Artificial Aviation. Today, the training wheels are off. We're going to be doing a straight up landing, combining throttle and yoke to land safely. Let's take a look at what this is all about. So I will just fess up, obviously, I'm not doing any flaps, I'm not doing any communications or navigation or anything like that, so it's not quite the training wheels are off, but you catch my drift. In the previous episodes, I've been working with either just the throttle or just the elevator, so now I've kind of got to combine that to a sensible descent. So what goes up must come down. Very funny. In this training session, you will focus on the key techniques for successful landing, manage speed and glide path on the final approach, flare the aircraft to touch down smoothly, and brake after landing to end the flight safely. So training duration is 4 minutes. Final approach, flare and deceleration in flight, ground deceleration. So I see the kind of the gentle curve that they're going for there, and that's what I'm going to try to achieve as I come in, rather than the yank up I've been doing here. So apparently as I cross the runway threshold, I've got to reduce the power down. So that's important. That's something I've not really, that seems like a rule that I can follow. If you're watching this and you're quite experienced with this, you've got any tips or tricks, get them in the comments for me and I'll take a look. Okay, and then the rear wheels touch and then we're forward. So let's give this a go and see how I do. Okay, objectives.
My first instructor used to say, the best part of flying is landing in one piece. Today, you're in charge of bringing us in for a safe landing.
Okay.
And I've already set us up in landing configuration at 65 knots with 10 degrees of flaps and idle power. Keep your aim point on the runway threshold. When you're 10 feet above the runway, it's time to flare.
So I'm going to try and keep the runway threshold fixed in my field of view. Maintaining 65 knots. Okay, we're going a little bit fast now, so we're going to pull back on that throttle a little bit, give her a little adjustment there. This is tricky. Okay, we're well off target for the runway as well. I feel like I've got a wind blowing in. Probably should have checked that before I started. That would have been a good idea. Oh, crikey. If anyone's got any tips, by the way, for balancing out this throttle lever, I would be eternally grateful. Like, is there a technique to it? Is there a tip or a trick for it? Okay, so we're not going to get a very good score for this because we're struggling to maintain 65 knots. Also, I think I'm a little bit high. So I think, yeah, we're too high. We're off course. So we're going to align with the runway. Okay, I have done this so very badly. So I think in real life, if I was doing this for real, I'd be executing a go around, because this is atrocious. I've come in far too high, so my angle of attack is way too steep. I'm too fast. Yeah, I'm calling this cooked.
Reduce throttle to idle.
I've already done that.
Now focus on the end of the runway and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Now apply the brakes to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
That was awful. Genuinely awful. There's definitely a better one of those in there.
You did well, but you can do better. Keep in mind that approaching the runway at the right speed is key to a good landing.
Yeah, and not way too high. I don't even deserve a B for that. But you know what that means? We've got to go again.
Runway.
Okay.
It's time to flare.
I'm going to be laser focused now on this runway threshold. I am going to try and keep it as still as I can in my view. 65 knots. Let's just keep this glide slope. Power I'm happy with. I've got the right amount of power. Yeah, this is good. Let's keep that descent going. Need a bit more speed, so we're gonna lower our angle of attack, which means I'm gonna bring the nose down to speed the aircraft up. I'm not touching the power because I'm happy with my elevation. Okay, so concentrating. Okay, it's only the second attempt, and I'm already losing my mind. Okay, here we go. So we're a little high. So if I back off the power a little bit, just a little bit, okay, that should bring us down a little bit. I need to ease the nose round, so we're on track for the runway. Okay, we're going to aim a little bit low this time, but again, I'm going to try and keep that runway threshold at that same point in my windscreen, so that it manages it okay. Here we go. I'm going to pull in the power a little bit more now because I'm a little bit high and a little bit fast. So remember, I'm using the power to control my height, and I'm using the elevator to control my speed. We're a little bit fast, so we'll pull up a little bit. That's it. Mind these trees. Don't want to dust off on these trees. Okay, we're a little bit slow, so push down again a little bit.
Reduce throttle to idle.
Okay, idle throttle. Here we go.
Now focus on the end of the runway
flares
and pull back slightly on the yoke to aim the nose just above it.
Go, we are down.
Nice.
Oof. No, it's
now
not.
apply the brakes to slow us down and bring the plane to a stop.
Guess the landing was a little bit iffy. I've still got to work on that flare, I think.
That was excellent.
Okay, so the glide slope management there, that's a much better score. The glide slope management felt like it was better there, so let's have a look. Oh, look at the follow the glide slope. That was beautiful. So there was much... leaving the throttle alone was a good strategy there, and just tuning it as we got closer, because if you noticed, as we just got closer to the runway, it felt like it needed a little bit more tuning. Flaring the aircraft, I feel like I've got a lot more work, but that's probably one of the better scores I've had all night for that one, so that's interesting. Stay on the centre line and stop the plane on the runway using the brakes. It was okay. It could have been a little bit better, but I'm happy with that result. I think that's good. I think we can chalk this up to practice and move on to the next one. So, what's coming up next? Let's have a little look-see. The next one is downwind. We have to follow a traffic pattern to prepare for landing. I'm genuinely excited about this one. I'm excited to get back into doing patterns, so this is going to be good. So remember, if you enjoyed today's video, give me a thumbs up, let me know. Subscribe to the channel, we've got loads of more great videos coming. Watch me learn and grow. And thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.